What if you couldn't trust your own ears? That's not some sci-fi plot anymore. It's really happening right now, thanks to these AI-powered voice scams. So today, we're going to break down exactly how these incredibly sophisticated attacks work, and more importantly, how you can actually build a solid defense against them. Okay, picture this. You're at work, you're deep in the zone, trying to hit a deadline, and your phone starts buzzing. You glance down at the screen, and your heart just stops for a second. This is the one call you absolutely have to take. And boom, there it is. It's your boss's name on the screen, the CEO. Instantly, your brain just flips a switch. All your focus is on that call. And of course, your guard is completely down. I mean, why wouldn't it be? So you pick up, and yeah, it sounds just like him. Maybe a little stressed, super urgent, and he's telling you he needs a massive wire transfer, $250,000, and it has to happen immediately. There's no time for questions, just action. Except that voice, it's a total phantom. It's a digital ghost cooked up by artificial intelligence. You're not actually talking to your CEO. You're on the phone with a hacker who's using a voice deepfake. So you've got to be asking yourself, how on earth does this work so well? Let's dig into the psychological tricks that make these attacks so frighteningly effective. It really boils down to a 1-2 punch. First, you've got the urgency. That sense of panic just short-circuits the logical part of our brain. But the familiar voice? Man, that's the real knockout blow. We are fundamentally hardwired to trust the voices of people we know. And the scammer hijacks that basic human trust to bypass pretty much any rational security check you might have. Okay, so we've got the psychology down. Now for the tech part. How is it even possible to perfectly copy someone's voice? Well, the answer is kind of mind-blowing and also way more accessible than you'd think. So this is what we're talking about, a voice deepfake. And just to be crystal clear, this isn't some pre-recorded message they're playing. No, it's happening in real time. A hacker can literally type out whatever they want you to hear, and the AI says it instantly in that perfectly cloned voice. All right, get ready for this, because this is the part that should really freak you out. How much audio do you think an AI needs to create a totally convincing clone? An hour? 10 minutes? Nope. 3 seconds. That is it. A tiny snippet from a conference call, a social media video, a podcast interview, literally anything is enough. And the process itself, it's scarily simple. A scammer just has to find a tiny audio clip online. They feed that into one of the many AI voice cloning tools that are out there, and, well, minutes later, they have a completely functional model of that person's voice, ready to be weaponized. And look, I know this all sounds like something straight out of a movie, but it is not science fiction. These attacks are happening right now, every single day, and the amount of money on the line is just staggering. So let's talk about some real numbers. How about this one? $243,000. And that's not some hypothetical number from a lab test. That is real money stolen because of this exact technology. Yeah, that cash was wired right out of a UK energy firm. Why? Because an employee got a call from someone they were 100% sure was their parent company's CEO. They trusted their ears, and the company paid a very, very painful price for it. And you know, as bad as that loss was, it's just a drop in the bucket compared to what these guys are aiming for now. The scale is on a completely different level. I mean, just look at this number, $35 million. So this was a massive attempted fraud. And while they caught this one before the money was actually gone, thank goodness, it just goes to show you the new scale of these attacks. We're not talking about small-time scams anymore. They're going for the jugular, company-ending kind of thefts. All right, so that's the threat. It is real, it is scary as heck, and it works. So the big question is, what do we do about it? How do you actually fight back? Let's get into the defense protocol that literally everyone in your organization needs to know. This is it. This is the single most important thing to get into your head right now. A voice is not proof of identity anymore. It's just not. For anything important, anything involving money or data, you just cannot take a voice at face value, period. This has to become our new norm. So here's what you do. These are your action steps. Number 1, if you get an urgent request for money or sensitive data over the phone, just hang up. Seriously. Then verify it through a totally different channel, like a quick text or a message on Slack. 2. Set up a simple code word or a verification question that only your real team would know the answer to. 3. Train yourself and everyone you work with to see that intense urgency as a massive red flag, not a reason to rush. And 4. Never, ever, ever trust caller ID. It is so easy to fake. Always call the person back on a number that you already have saved for them. And look, this isn't about buying some complicated, expensive software. It's a simple, tiny change in behavior. Taking that extra 30 seconds to send a quick text to verify, that little pause can be the one thing that stands between a normal workday and a catastrophic multi-million-dollar disaster. And that really brings us to the final critical point. You get it now, right? You understand the threat. But what about your team? Does every single person in your company who has the power to move money or send data know this stuff? Because this isn't just an IT security problem anymore. It's a people problem. So you have to ask yourself, is your entire team ready for that call? Because sooner or later, it's going to come.